next speaker is Engineer Sigrid Ayan. She is a fire officer too and currently serving as the policy developer for Inspection 2 under the Fire Safety Enforcement Division, Directorate for Fire Safety and Enforcement of the Bureau of Fire Protection. She is involved in the formulation and enhancement of policies supporting the implementation of Republic Act Number 9514 or the Fire Code of the Philippines and its revised implementing rules and regulations. She began her career as project engineer in private electrical construction industry before joining the Bureau of Fire Protection in 2017 as Engineer 1 and later transitioning to the uniformed service in 2021. Her experience her experience spans key functional areas such as building data management, fire safety inspection, and building plan evaluation in the Bureau of Fire Protection, contributing to strengthening regulatory compliance, improved enforcement efficiency, and policy development. She will discuss fire protection design for electrical installations. Let us welcome Engineer Sigrid P. Ayan.
Good morning po, sir, ma'am. Thank you, Ma'am Mika.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes. We can see your presentation na po, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am. Good morning, sirs, ma'am. I am Sig. So our discussion for this morning will be about fire protection design for electrical installation. Today will be the fire protection design. Installation will be based on Republic Act 9514 and its revised implementing rules and regulations, wherein we're going to focus on the design electrical systems, not only for functionality, but also for survivability during fire conditions. So it's not only a compliance, but it is a life safety engineering. But before anything else, okay. For anything else, for some interpretations, opinions po during these discussions, of course, a disclaimer lang po na these are not the official position of the Bureau of Fire Protection. However, for official guidance, references, we could go to the latest issuances, circulars, and directives from the Bureau of Fire Protection. Considering po ata na yung discussions natin will be more on the technical interpretations. However, as we have said, the presentation is for educational and professional discussion purposes po only. But we will try po no, to present what are the requirements ng Fire Code or di kaya ng RA 9514 para po sa ating electrical systems. So what will be our objectives for today's presentation po no, regarding electrical design, fire protection designs for electrical systems? So it's not only for awareness, but we will try to make it as an operational competence in accordance with the law. So as we go over with this presentation, we'll be able to interpret the fire code provisions and apply them in electrical systems, integrate fire protection to the design process, ensure compliance during plan evaluation and inspection, then translate code requirements into engineering solutions. In short, we will try to make our designs technically sound, but at the same time legally defensible. So for our topic outline for today, we will try to discuss the legal basis or the legal framework kung bakit po na-require natin ang fire protection in our electrical system, the fire risk in electrical system, why this matters, and the code requirements, what must be complied with in accordance with RA 9514 and its IRR. At the same time, the conclusion or what will be our accountability in this coming days, or what would be our key takeaways from this presentation. So let's start. What is the legal basis on why we are requiring fire protection in our electrical system? fire compliance or fire safety compliance operates within a multi-layered regulatory system, starting from RA 9514, which states in Section 2 that we need to protect life and properties, while in Section 7 din naman ng RA 9514, otherwise known as the Fire Code of the Philippines, we need to inspect, we need to ensure safety for the construction and protection of these systems being integrated in our buildings, which includes electrical systems. As we move forward, we're going to the 2019 revised IRR, which defines or which provides the enforceable technical provisions on how we're going to implement RA 9514. What are required by the 2019 revised RRR will be supported actually by the Philippine Electrical Code and the NFPA 70. The Philippine Electrical Code defines how electrical systems must be designed, and while NFPA 70, which is one of the reference code of RA 9514 2019 revised IRR, provides also some technical foundations for us on how we are going to implement or how we're going to design those required by the 2019 revised IRR of RA 9514. So, in short, the electrical design required by the Philippine Electrical Code is the execution arm of the fire safety policy of RA 9514. So in our data, we have requested from our Intelligence Investigation Division, accordingly, from year 2022 to 2025, there's an increase of electrical fires, so there's a growth. And based from the data also that we have secured, currently all medyo pinakamataas pa rin si electrical fires na reason electrical related fires pa rin yung pinakamataas na number of fires happening in our country. So as you can see, no, tumataas pa rin siya. Pero just clarification, this electrical fires is that kahit na anong reason po yan, hindi po namin siya na-breakdown pa kung ano-ano yung certain reason kung bakit nagkaroon ng electrical fires. It's not presented in our table. Basta po electrical fires yun nandyan po sa ating data. So it's increasing pa rin during these past years. Hindi lang siya ganun kataas na positive 23.1 from year 2022 to 2023. Bumaba siya, however, there's still an increase. So what are these? Kung bakit kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng electrical fire? Mostly, it's about non-compliance kasi. So as you can see in our table, what's our failure? What's the cause? Ano naman yung connection niya sa fire? And what's the possible code violation? So let's start with the overcurrent, which is from the undersized conductors. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng insulation ignition due to overheating. And the code violation will be non-compliance with PEC. That's why there's a creation of fire hazard. Next will be short circuit, ground fault, loose connection, no coordination. This failure mode results to fire. So nagkakaroon ngayon tayo ng violations sa fire code. And pag titignan po natin, most of these violations are related with the Philippine Electrical Code. Kaya po, if hindi po natin na-meet or hindi po natin na-comply sa Philippine Electrical Code, it also means we are not compliant with the fire code. So, para maiwasan natin ngayon yung mga failure modes natin, which are, these are just only some of the failure modes po, no, from overcoming to no coordination. Ano po kaya yung kailangan natin gawin or as required by the fire code? So let's talk about what are the requirements of RA 9514 and its revised implementing rules and regulations. And before anything else, let's start with the fire safety evaluation clearance requirement. According to Section 9.1 .0.2.1 para D of the IR of RA 9514, the procedure for securing fire safety evaluation clearance shall be in accordance with the BFP Citizens Charter. And the fire safety evaluation clearance is a prerequisite for you to be able to secure your building permit. So ano naman po kaya yung nire-require ng aming Citizens Charter in relation with the fire safety evaluation clearance? As you can see with our Citizens Charter, kung ano din naman po yung nire-require ng ating building official, it should also be submitted to the Bureau of Fire Protection. So which includes the electrical plans. Your electrical plans must include load computations, design analysis, single line diagram, protection system, grounding system, equipment specifications. Those are just only some, pero i-verify pa natin kung ano naman po ba talaga yung in-detailed requirement na kailangan nating makita sa ating electrical plans in accordance with the fire code. So let's start with the general requirement. Ito po yung lagi namin inuulit o laging sinasabi. Electrical wiring and equipment shall be in accordance with the latest edition of the Philippine Electrical Code, Section 10.2.7.1 para B of the IRR of RA 9514. Again, compliance with PEC is not optional. It's mandated by the fire code. So lagi po namin sinasabi, the design reference in all our electrical plants in the country will be the Philippine Electrical Code. Yun po yung foundation ni Fire Code in terms po sa mga electrical designs natin. So how we're going to integrate yung fire safety kung sinasabi naman na ang design is that for the PEC? Let's start with the wiring installation requirements. As per the PEC Part 1 and NFPA 70, ang kailangan natin will be how we're going to integrate the following key fire safety requirements: proper conductor sizing, insulation rating, protection from mechanical damage, proper routing to avoid fire spread paths, which will be discussed later regarding fire stopping, and avoid vertical shaft protection. Another requirement by the PEC will be the overcurrent protection. So what do we need from the overcurrent protection? We need the proper breaker sizing, coordination of protective devices, and the short circuit protection. And the grounding and the banding, which requires the equipment grounding, system grounding, and banding of metallic parts. So if these are the following required by the PEC na kailangan ma-integrate natin kay na hinahanap natin kay fire code, ano ngayon yung makikita natin sa electrical plants in relation with the PEC? First, our electrical plants must show the load calculations, which covers your demand factors pala, your load classifications, while your single line diagram will show your transformer and panel hierarchy, your sources of panel, and your protective devices, while your protection system, which ensures your fault interruption, should show your overcurrent protection and short circuit protection, while your grounding in your electrical plants should present the grounding electrode system, the equipment grounding, and the banding details. From this, we'll be able to see na yung plans natin or yung design natin is compliant by evidence. So, kailangan nating makita ang mga to sa ating mga electrical plans. Pangalawa na requirement ng fire code will the elimination of means of egress. Section 10.2.5.11 para A and B of the IRR states na dapat continuous yung visibility ng ating means of egress. Bakit? Emergency lighting is a life safety system. Ang purpose kasi ng illumination of means of egress natin is to provide visibility during fire and enable safe evacuation. Kapag kasi madilim ang ating area or ang ating means of egress during fire, it's a casualty multiplier. That's why ang requirement ni Fire Code is that our illumination will be not less than 10.7 lux. It should be arranged na lahat ng area natin is that well lit, wala dapat darkness, At the same time, hindi natin inaalaw ang luminescent, fluorescent, or reflective material as substitute for the elimination of means of egress. And the minimum illumination must be maintained during failure condition. So kapag meron tayong failure sa ating normal source, so kung wala tayong tawag nito, kung wala tayong, kung hindi okay yung normal operation ng ating distribution, ay ng ating mga electric utilities, at least continuous pa rin yung pagkakaroon ng ilaw ng ating mga means of egress. Another requirement will the emergency power supply system. As per section 10.2.5.4 para I2 of the IRR of RA 9514, especially kapag new mechanical ventilation equipment ka, kailangan mag-provide ka ng EPSS. So the EPSS is required for our smoke control. It should be in accordance with NFPA 110, Standard for Emergency and Standby Power Systems. Another requirement, saan pa ba natin nire-require si EPSS? Kapag required ka ng fire pump, kapag required ka maglagay ng fire pump sa iyong building, in according with section 10.2.5.10 para of the IRR of RA 9514, in relation with NFPA 13, fire pumps require reliable power source, and for normal operation or for normal power is unreliable, emergency generator is required. Saan pa ba natin na-require sa emergency power supply system? Kanina require siya sa sa ating smoke control, sa ating fire pump. In relation naman with our high-rise building, according to Rule 10, Chapter 2, Division 20 of the IRR of RA 9514, especially kapag may fire command center tayo, which is a mandatory for our high-rise building, kailangan na meron tayong EPSS. Why? Because we need the operability of all fire protection system present in our fire command centers. So all of this is that lahat ng systems natin, from FDAS to sprinkler system, to our emergency lights, to our smoke control, na interconnected lahat sa ating fire command center is that kailangan nating mag-provide ng EPSS to ensure the operability of these systems. Pangalawa din will be because of course, considering of protection of life, for the hospitals, kailangan din natin ng EPSS in accordance with section 10.2.11.1 of the IRR, which we need to maintain continuous operation of life safety systems. Last year lang, we have the Bureau issued DILG Administrative Order 2025-001. This was issued around March last year, which amends a certain provision of the FAR Code. It amends section 10.2.11.1 para B of the IRR of RA 9514, which requires a dedicated stretcher lift elevator in the hospitals. Ang requirement ng ating dedicated stretcher lift elevator is that kailangan meron siyang dedicated emergency power supply system for this elevator. So, ganun ka-importante na habang habang there are changes in some provisions of the fire code, the electrical system is also being affected. So we need to ensure na meron tayong appropriate supply or meron tayong power supply for these systems na kailangan ng electricity sa ating building. So from the required emergency power supply system, ano ngayon yung dapat makita natin in our electrical plants? What should we provide? Una will be our generator system, our automatic transfer switch, or di kaya the manual transfer switch just in case manual yung ginamit natin. And the load prioritization, it should reflect in our plan kung ano yung bibigyan natin ng supply, which is kanina nga nabanggit natin yung fire pumps, emergency lighting, and smoke control. While for the means of egress din, another is that the emergency power supply. Hindi naman kailangan ng emergency power supply system ang kailangan sa ating exit markings or signs. However, in accordance with Section 10.2.5.12, para B.1 of the IRR, for emergency lighting is required, kailangan nating mag-provide ng another source of supply kapag nagkaroon tayo ng emergency, which is the emergency power supply. And if kapag kailangan natin makita na yung condition na kapag emergency lighting is required, it should be the same source with our exit markings din. So kung kanina EPSS yung required natin kay emergency lighting, dapat connected din yung exit marking or signs natin with our EPSS. Another will be the fire detection and alarm system. Kailangan din meron siyang power supply, emergency power supply, which remains to be operational even also during fire. Mostly kasi di ba inisip natin, the FDAS is parang pre-notification siya. But it's also still a requirement na dapat gumagana pa rin yung ating FDAS as much as possible during fire. Kasi we know na during fire incidents, during evacuation time, is that the FDAS is still a guide sa evacuation procedures natin. And requirement ng fire detection and alarm system is to have a secondary power supply. Minimum naman niya will be a battery backup. However, when integrated with critical systems, especially for the high-rise, it should be connected to the EPSS. So, from our discussion of emergency power supply and illumination of means of egress, ano ngayon yung makikita dapat natin with our electrical plans? For the fire detection and alarm power supply, we should be able to have the primary and secondary power supply. Makikita din natin dapat yung battery backup duration niya. And if required siya sa EPSS, we need to have, kailangan makita natin sa plano yung connection niya to the EPSS. Sa emergency lighting and exit signs, makita din dapat natin yung circuiting, yung power source, and compliance with the illumination requirement. Sabi nga natin po, that especially for the means of egress, dapat makita natin na every corner or every part of the means of egress, it should be well lit. For the fire stopping, another requirement of the fire code is the fire stopping. Why fire stopping? According to section 10.2.6.1 para D, E, and J of the IRR of RA 9514, which talk about construction and compartmentalization, kailangan natin ng protection from penetration. It should be sealed with fire-resistive materials, and it should be in accordance with ASTM E2393. So, all penetrations must be sealed. Bakit? A single unsealed penetration kasi could compromise the entire compartment. That's why very, akala kasi natin na mostly kapag sinabi natin protection from penetration or others, medyo na overlook natin yung iba, mga nakatago sa mga ceilings natin or yung mga nakatago sa electrical rooms natin or di kaya yung mga hindi nakikita ng visible eyes natin. Sometimes na-overlook natin to sa construction time. However, we need to become vigilant in ensuring na sealed yung mga lahat ng possible way kung saan mag-spread ang fire or kung saan magta-transfer ang fire sa ibang area. So we need to become vigilant with ensuring that all these penetrations present in our buildings should be sealed properly with fire-resistive materials. So paano ngayon natin to chine-check or paano natin makikita to during the design process? We should be able to present the fire stopping detail in our electrical plans. our cable routing strategy, and what is being presented in the protection of cable trays and risers. And of course, lahat din sana ng mga hindi lang cable trays and risers ang titignan natin. We should be able also to check kahit na yung mga simple nating utility boxes and others sa ating electrical plants. As much as possible, what we're trying to see in the electrical plants is that makikita natin kung ano yung mitigation, ano yung tawag ito, ano yung mga actions natin na pwedeng gawin to be able to avoid these scenarios during fire, para hindi tayo magkaroon ng fire in our buildings. So what are the electrical rooms requirement naman? According to section 10.2.6.10 of the IRR of RA 9514, our electrical plants needs to comply with some provisions, specifically the separation of hazardous equipment and protection of our electrical installations. Let's be reminded that our electrical rooms are high-risk zones. So, kailangan meron tayong i-comply na mga provisions ng fire code, especially na high hazard areas sa mga to. Especially for the high-rise building, according to para A.1, according to section 10.2.20.4 of the IRR of RA 9514, a sprinkler system is required in all floor spaces, including our electrical room, our generator area, mechanical areas. Kailangan nating mag-provide ng sprinkler system. However, to guide us kung pwede bang hindi tayo maglagay ng sprinkler system sa ating mga electrical rooms. So, we have the provision of para 8.1 section 10.2.6.7 of the IRR of RA 9514, which states na the installation of our sprinkler system should be in accordance with NFPA 13. So, meron tayong reference from that provision ni Fire Code. The Bureau issued memorandum dated 27 September 2021 regarding the guidelines in the implementation of the fire protection for electrical equipment room. Dito ngayon lumalabas si NFPA, aside from being provided by the fire code na it should be in accordance with NFPA 13, we reminded the public that in accordance with section 9.2.6 of NFPA 13 2022 revision, electrical equipment rooms is that sprinkler systems or sprinklers are not required in the electrical equipment rooms provided that these four conditions are met. Una, the room is dedicated to electrical equipment only. Pangalawa, only dry type or liquid type with listed K-class fluid electrical equipment is used. And number 3, equipment is installed in a 2R fire-rated enclosure, including protection for penetration, and storage is not permitted in the room. So how was this being presented, especially the 2R fire-rated enclosure? Pag makikita nyo, from our transformer to genset, nirequire natin na magkaroon tayo ng 2R fire-rated enclosure. From our genset to cooling tower and cooling tower to chiller, kailangan natin ng 2R fire-rated enclosure. That's for our that's a scenario for our electromechanical room. Pangalawa naman would be paano kapag may other types of occupancy. If our transformer, genset, and chiller is that dahil malapit siya sa other types of occupancy natin, itong mga sites na nakaharap kay other types of occupancy are required to be fire-rated. Pati na din mismo yung areas natin na nakaharap sa ating mga mechanical, sa ating mga electrical rooms are high hazard is that kailangan din natin mag-provide ng 2 hours fire rated protection sa kanila. So, paano kaya itong fire rating na to na required ni Fire Code? It's actually we are guided by Table 52, the fire resistance standards, which requires na kailangan natin ng 2 hours, at least minimum 2 hours of fire resistance rating for these walls between our generator, between our transformer, and between other mechanical rooms. So what should we see sa ating mga electrical rooms in our electrical plants? Ano dapat yung makita natin? Una yung sinabi nga natin na 1 to 2 hours fire-rated enclosure or walls. Dedicated space dapat siya, no mixed occupancy used. If it's really an electrical room, it should be electrical room. And proper ventilation. Then the working clearance aligned with the PEC. Ano ba yung proper headroom natin? Ano ba yung proper depth and width natin? It should be in accordance with the Philippine Electrical Code. So in our conclusion, our key takeaways for this presentation, of course, medyo overview lang siya nung ating fire code. What we could as much as possible is that ang makikita natin sa mga electrical plants natin in relation with our electrical system will be to see kung paano natin inilagay yung ating fire protection. It should first make sure natin yung continuity of critical systems during fire, yung fire containment natin, protection of electrical hazards, and integration with the life safety systems. So the fire code does not say how to design electrically, but it defines what must be achieved during the fire. That's why our plans will determine kung paano natin, our plans will determine on how we're going to be compliant with the fire code. So that's only just the overview po of the IRR of RA 9514. Just in case po meron po kayong mga gusto pong idagdag na fire protection natin in relation with the electrical system natin, you could message po the Fire Safety Enforcement Division to send your recommendations and suggestions on how we could improve the protection of these electrical systems natin, on what should be integrated na sabihin po natin na mas maganda pa to strengthen the fire protection of our electrical systems in these buildings, structures, and facilities. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Engineer C. We have few questions, ma'am, in the chat box. Let me read po, ma'am. Okay. First po, from Engineer Jom Gabuna. Good day, ma'am. Does BFP include evaluation of electrical design approval? Also, does BFP have PEEs who evaluate the electrical design in compliance with the provisions of RA 7920?
Ulit po yung first sentence.
Okay po, ma'am. Does BFP include evaluation of electrical design approval?
Okay po. As I have said, as discussed kanina po, no, ang tinitiglan when we say design approve, medyo in terms kasi talaga sa mismong design ng inyong electrical plan, we really do not check it. What we see is that yung tulad nga po na sinabi namin kanina, ano po ba yung dapat na nakikita natin? It will be your load calculations and your protections. Dapat nandun yung proper computations. While the design itself is for electrical system itself, it's the building official. However, kung integrated ba yung fire safety features doon sa electrical designs ninyo, yun po yung chine-check ni Bureau of Fire Protection. While in terms naman po kung meron po ba tayong professional electrical engineers in the Bureau of Fire Protection that that checks these plans. Of course, with our human resources po, no, I don't know kung mayroon pa kaming 10 or 5 na PEE, but I think as per our record, wala po pa kaming 10 or 5 na professional electrical engineers in the Bureau of Fire Protection. That's why nga po, as we have said in our first, in our reply, no, we don't check mismo yung electrical design ni electrical engineer, but we check kung dinagdag po ninyo yung fire safety requirements as required by the fire code. Yun po yung limitations actually ni BFP. As we have said, the design itself is with the Philippine Electrical Code. Titignan lang natin kung nilagay po ba ninyo yung kailangan ni fire code. Yun po yung limitations ng aming chine-check po, sir, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am. Next question po from Engineer Benjamin. What if Fire Command Center is affected by fire? What system will protect the building?
Actually po, no, the building kasi natin, di ba, meron tayong passive protection at saka active protection. And required kasi na ang ating, kung mismong Fire Command Center natin ang tawag nito, ang na-compromise, considering that the Fire Command Centers that doon naka-integrate lahat ng systems natin, we could say na wala na tayong backup po doon. Because it's the Fire Command Center po, no? It's our, tawag nito, it's where everything is integrated. Parang doon nga po matitrigger lahat kapag may fire, kapag ano yung mga possible. That's why ang requirement ng ating Fire Command Center, as much as possible, it is well protected siya. Proper, tawag nito, lahat ng fire safety features or fire safety measures na pwede nating ma-integrate is that nandoon. Ang tanong kasi is that ano yung possible cause ng fire kaya na-compromise yung ating Fire Command Center? Human intervention, human ba because of human error? Or di kaya dahil sa mismong system natin? Siguro sir, yun po yung i-recheck natin. Pero as much as possible nga po, our Fire Command Center should be fire protected or dapat hindi siya mako-compromise as required by our fire code po. Kasi yun yung center natin in terms of from our pre-protection, during fire incident din po, kailangan natin si Fire Command Center po.
Thank you po, ma'am. From Engineer Braille Ruby. Good day, ma'am. For the required minimum illumination of 10.7 lux, should the measurement be taken at the floor level or at the working table level?
Tawag nito, I'm not sure po, no, if it's floor level or table, from the table itself. Ka-counter check ko po, pero currently, ang ginagawa po natin na checking is that from the floor level po. Pero please guide me po just in case kailangan ko pala na from the floor level siya. Pero usually po kasi from the floor level, considering na dapat, tawag nito, it should be, sabi nga natin, it should be well lit. At yun nga din po, di ba, lagi pong kailangan na mostly, ang titignan kasi natin sa baba pataas. Pero sabi ko nga po, please guide me, baka po pala from the table, papunta po sa ceiling.
Thank you po, ma'am. From Engineer Efraim de la Cruz, how about for kitchen fire suppression system? Kahit interface na siya sa FDAS, required pa rin ba PSS kahit mechanically triggered system siya?
Yun po, no. Pag part po siya ng a larger area or a larger system, kailangan po na integrated siya kay EPSS natin. And kung reconnected naman po siya, parang I think the requirement kasi natin is that kapag automatic ang isang system mo, dapat lahat na din ng other systems mo automatic. So that's why we consider na dapat si kitchen hood suppression, kung nakakonect naman siya kay automatic system mo na FDAS, it should be automatic din. Pero if kung nakaseparate siya doon atin sa kitchen hood, possible po na hindi na po natin kailangan siyang, okay lang po na manually triggered siya.
From Engineer Kent Tabuada, good morning po. Is it required to connect emergency loads to the EPSS even if the system already have 100% backup?
Pag sinabi niyo po bang backup, tama po ba? The question is it required, the systems are required to be connected in the EPSS considering na may naman siyang 100% na backup? Parang another backup po ba yung tanong? I just only want to be clarified po, sir, ma'am.
Engineer Kent, kindly clarify po, sir. Let us proceed po sa next question po muna, ma'am. Okay. Okay. Okay po. From Engineer Benjamin Layos, how do you prevent sprinkler water from risking electrocution for a running equipment or device on fire?
Just in case po, no, let's be cleared with our sprinkler system. Mostly kasi pag sinabi natin sprinkler, ang inisip natin will be water. That's why po, no, aside from our discussions kanina na electrical systems pwede naman na hindi siya malagyan ng sprinkler system. Pero paano kapag nilagyan natin siya ng sprinkler system? Our fire suppression na gagamitin po will be not water. Possible po kasi na ang gagamitin po natin is that aside from water will be chemicals na po. So we have other modes to suppress our other chemicals in our sprinkler system instead of using water po. Kaya po yung electrocution actually with our sprinkler system, kaya nga po inaalaw natin na walang sprinkler system sa water-based electrical system sprinkler system sa ating electrical rooms is because we know the concept of electrocution nga po. Pero yun, if maglalagay nga po tayo, hindi naman po kailangan na water-based. May mga other chemicals naman po na pwede nating integrate with na gagamitin natin. That's why nga po parang, yun nga lang po, ang magiging concern natin, of course, hindi mo naman i-connect yung mga non-water-based natin doon sa existing sprinkler system natin para magiging separate sprinkler system siya kasi magkaiba sila ng suppression agent, which is of course, your normal areas will be water-based, pero for your electrical system or other mechanical or other high hazard areas will be other agents such as chemicals po. Yun po yung nagiging concept po kung bakit, para ma-check natin or para ma-address natin yung concern po sa electrocution because of water-based sprinkler system po.
Thank you po, ma'am. From Engineer Nelson, considering the Fire Code was enacted, Republic Act 9514 was enacted in 2008 and its IRR were updated in 2019, may we respectfully inquire how the Fire Code continues to stay aligned with the current advancement, new technologies, and emerging fire safety challenges in 2026? Are there efforts or planned updates to ensure that the code remains responsive to modern building systems, energy technologies, and evolving industry best practices?
To answer, no, this is more on the process po, no, regarding laws. Of course, from the previous administration until now naman po with our liaison office with the Bureau of Fire Protection in the Congress, of course, pinupush naman po na magkaroon tayo ng amendment with the Fire Code itself, the basic law. Of course, it's the Congress prerogative na po, no, kung tawag nito, kung i-workout nila yung amendment ng ating mismong FAR Code RA 95 law. However, in terms naman po with our mismong revised implementing rules and regulations, from 2019 until now, 2026, the Bureau had been submitting some proposals actually with the DILG regarding amendments on certain provisions of the FAR Code na based on the recommendations and the studies, of course, from the different sectors, from the industries, which have been adopted by the Bureau and signed by our DILG. These are issued as memorandum circulars, administrative orders. These are some efforts of the Bureau po, no, na ginawa natin so that we'll be able to adopt these emerging technologies. Currently, yun pa po yung piece by piece amendment na ginagawa natin all throughout the years from 2019 up to now. We have submitted certain recommendations to our DILG for him to sign. Meron din naman po tayong effort ngayon, which is the amendment mismo ng ating 2019 revised IRR, no, which is being done by the Bureau for, which started noong 2024 pa, which is accumulated suggestions and recommendations from the different industries and from the lower units po ni Bureau. We have been doing, actually we have the timeline na we have been consulting different industries din po, no, that will help us revise the FAR Code. That's why po kanina na po nasabi namin, if you have some recommendations, please just submit it to our division, considering na yung directorate po namin is currently undergoing reviews of the IRR itself to be able na ma-revise natin siya na buo na. And currently yun po yung ginagawa actually po ng directorate namin. Ongoing po yung revisions last year until now, with of course, we don't know whatever is the timeline, pero ang timeline po kasi ni Bureau is that to submit it this year. Pero of course, it depends actually po, no, sa current situation natin ngayon. But these are the efforts of the Bureau naman po. And we have been coordinating with the different industries din or stakeholders, so, na as much as possible, hindi lang naman, we are also referencing naman yung mga concerns natin from the complaints, technical complaints from our clients, kung ano ba yung mga yung mga complaints kasi nila, yun din naman ang nagiging reference din naman ni BFP to amend these certain provisions so that we could adapt with the emerging technologies. Yes, like kanina, the battery, wala pa pong provision si wala si FAR Code or di kaya wala pang guidelines na inisyu si Bureau. But it had been studying naman kung paano naman siya i-integrate ngayon sa ating FAR Code. So medyo a little bit tawag nito, medyo ang tagal nung ginagawa ni BFP from 2019 until 2026 na full amendment of the FAR Code, but it needs study din naman po, kaya ganun din po kaya medyo natatagalan din po tayo because we need some studies to do. And we believe naman po ata some sectors are being part of the Bureau to amend the FAR Code po natin. Thank you po, sir.
Thank you po, ma'am. We can accommodate siguro, ma'am, mga 2 or 3 questions na lang po in the interest of time po. From Engineer Alvin Magistrado, what are the best practices in designing fire protection systems for substations and switchgear rooms?
Yan po, no, best practices. Tawag dito, hindi po, as we have said, no, in terms kasi of electrical design, we rely on the Philippine Electrical Code. So whatever po is the requirement ng ating electrical code or other codes natin as issued by the IIEE, yun po yung ginagamit ni BFP. So far po kasi, no, in terms of the substations and the and transformer, tama ba? Substations And ano po yung isa,
Substation.
ma'am?
Switchgear rooms po.
Switch gears po, no? As I've said po, no, as long po na nag-integrate po tayo ng proper protection doon based on what is required by the PEC, doon po actually mag-rely po si BFP. So far po kasi, no, parang ang report po kasi ng aming mga lower stations, parang hindi po wala pa po ata nagpapasubmit or hindi po nagsasubmit ata. Or iilan lang yung mga nagsasubmit ng mga plans for transformer and substations. I'm assuming po na ito yung mga ginagamit natin sa distribution utilities na medyo malalaki. Or di kaya doon sa ating tawag ito, na ginagamit po ng NGCP na mas malalaking transformer and substations. So, hindi po namin masyadong ine-inspect yun or di kaya wala pong nagsasubmit sa amin. Wala pong nagsasubmit kay BFP ng mga ganun po, no. However, considering po na wala siyang occupancy, that's why hindi siya masyadong nire-require. But for the best practice, going back to the best practice, whatever po is required ng ating electrical code, doon po mag-refer si fire code po. So far, medyo hindi po siya ganun ka-direct na sagot or very clear na sagot. But whatever po ang required ng ating local codes, in the Philippine setting, it is what is being implemented po ni Bureau of Fire Protection po, sir, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am. From Engineer Kent po. Hello po. Based on the presentation, walls lang po ang naka-indicate na naka-fire rated. Is there also any fire rating requirements for the doors?
Yes po, sir. Tawag nito, meron po tayong provision regarding doors po, no? Especially kapag hazard areas po siya. Kung ano po yung requirement natin ng doors, fire resistive doors, yun din po actually ang requirement po natin sa mga electrical rooms natin, considering po na hazard area po ang electrical rooms natin. Present ko lang po yung firewall because in relation po with the sprinkler system.
Last question po, ma'am, from Engineer Michael. Is it required that all conduits in the FDAS and FirePro will be rigid or IMC/EMT pipe?
Baka po kasi po, no, if I'm not mistaken po, the concern actually kasi ni FDAS, usually kasi ang ginagawa ngayon is that I believe sana hindi to totoo or malito, is that PVC kasi, nagpi-PVC kasi yung iba. What is required kung ano naman kasi yung required natin na wiring requirement natin sa fire code, sa PEC, it's what we follow actually with our FDAS. So, hindi pwede ang tawag nito, ang PVC sa ating mga FDAS, which is kung ano man naman po ang required ng ating PEC regarding doon sa wiring natin ng FDAS, yun po yung susundin po ni fire code po.
Thank you po, ma'am.
So, hindi ko po direct po na sinagot po, no, kung pwede po ba ang rigid or fan. What is required po ng PEC regarding sa wiring, yun po yung susundin po natin, sir, ma'am.
PEC po. Apo, sir. Thank you po, ma'am. And at this moment po, ma'am, we are going to proceed to the awarding of the Certificate of Appreciation. Let me read the citation po. This Certificate of Recognition is presented to Engineer Sigrid P. Ayan for imparting valuable insights as technical resource speaker on the topic Fire Protection Design for Electrical Installations during the Fire Safety Webinar hosted by the IIE Electrical Safety Committee. Once again, maraming salamat po, Engineer Sigrid. Please smell po in 1, 2, 3. Maraming salamat po, ma'am.
Sir,
And now, please